Hey, what is up you guys? Naesam here. And Druid, Resto Druid has received a lot of changes. Actually, not as many as many other classes, but it's a lot to me. Because they're really significant changes to how the class works. Some good, some bad. So before I get into like the talents and stuff, I'm going to go over a lot of these changes. All the major ones. So for one thing, a lot of our burst healing is gone. And by a lot, I mean pretty much all. We now have a 15-second longer cooldown on Swift Bend, total being 30 seconds. Do not have Nature Swiftness anymore, and we do not have Genesis anymore. That is kind of depressing because there's like no burst healing left. You still have like Tree Form and stuff, but we don't have anything in between cooldowns to burst. And maybe that's just because we were kind of overpowered, but we'll see how it plays out. I'm hoping they at least reduce the cooldown on Swift Bend because I liked being able to use that a lot. A single target, no cast time, decent heal. That wasn't a hot, it was nice to have. It also affects all the forest a lot having such a long cooldown. So yeah, that's the main changes from what we have already. Currently, whatever you want to call it, on WOD. Another thing that has changed is our mastery. And this new pain. But mastery is now, your healing is increased by 8% for each of your restoration heal over time effects on the target. That 8% is obviously going to go up depending on how much mastery you have. I don't really like this because a lot of the skill cap and everything in Druid came from keeping up your mastery, especially in PvE. PvP not quite as much, but it was still pretty significant to get your mastery up as much as you could. And that comboed with the fact that casting heals no longer refreshes Life Bloom makes me feel like Druid doesn't really have that much purpose to be casting anything aside from just hots, and that was kind of an important part of the game. So I don't really think I like this change very much, but we'll see how it plays out. Maybe they'll change it back because I heard a lot of other Druids are complaining as well. So now looking at the talents, now that I've explained the biggest changes, well, one thing is the talent is now just passive Ursula's Vortex. That's not that big. We also have Sunfire, which is really, really weird and doesn't really make sense to me, but talents. First talent, Prosperity. Swiftman now has 2 charges. See, that would be good if it wasn't a 15-second cooldown. That gives us a lot of burst healing, but just having that long cooldown, I think if I wanted burst healing, I'd probably go with Cenarian Ward being on a 30-second cooldown, because it actually heals for more than Swiftman. The only difference is that this one actually heals for a little more, and it's a hot, and you can put it on someone for 30 seconds, like before they take damage, but this one you can use twice in a row, and it's insta-cast and all that, not a hot, so that could be useful in some situations, while this one is probably going to be more useful in most situations. So yeah, that one I don't really see being used very much. Obviously Cenarian Word. I just talked about that one, same as it is on live. Germination, same as it is on live. This one is probably going to be the best for most situations, partly because of the new mastery. For really burst healing, you probably go for Cenarian Word. 30 talents. Renewal is the same as it was before, basically meaning it's pretty bad. Displacer Beast and Wild Charge are both on this one now, which is really, really strange that we have 2 movement ones with renewal. But probably Displacer Beast will be the go-to. So now that we've passed most of the ones that are the same, now we get the Affinities, which these are the new, really interesting ones that I'm actually a big fan of. Can have Balance Affinity, increases the range of all of your abilities by 5 yards, and you also can be Moonkin form, use Star Surge, and Lunar Strike. So I actually want to show this. If I can find these quickly. Where is Lunar Strike? Yeah, that's the passive. Would probably be where the L's are, huh? Lunar Strike, it's basically Star Surge. So these actually do pretty significant damage, but they're both long casts. Also increases damage in your next Lunar Strike and your next Wrath by 10 or 20%. So this could be good if you wanted to do some like triple DPS-esque type of thing. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but it's pretty good. It does more damage than Elemental Shamans. Anyway, The 5-yard thing might be useful on maps like Tolvaron or something, but other than that, I don't really see it being that useful for anything other than Cyclone, which is now an honor talent, and you can't have glyphs, so it's only 25 yards. So that extra 5 yards could be useful. And Feral Affinity increases your movement speed by 15%, and you also can do feral things, which looks like it does more damage, but I can't. I'll probably show this later, like on a training dummy. No point in trying to show it here in this giant grassy field with nothing here. And Guardian Affinity is the one I see being the best for most situations, if the other ones aren't super good for bursting. Reduces all your damage taken by 10% at all times, not just in berry form. Just like these ones are not just in their respective forms. You also learn these abilities that we used to have passively. You can hit things, you can heal a decent amount, because Friendship Regeneration has been changed. Made a really long recharge on it though, that wasn't there last time I played. But it heals you for 40% of all damage taken in the last 5 seconds over 6 seconds, a minimum of 5% maximum health. So that's pretty good. An Iron Fur increases armor by 75% for 6 seconds. Multiple overlaps of its ability may cause, or multiple uses of this ability may overlap, which means you have like 150%. So I tested this out, it's not like overlapping isn't a negative thing. And these generate 4 and 6 raids, so that would take a long time to get to. So if you're stuck in bear form for a long time, maybe that could be something you'd use, but I'd probably just stick with Friendship Regeneration. And these ones are all we've already seen before. There's Mighty Bash, there's Mass Entanglement. I'm not sure what Nature's Control is, but it must not be important because we're replacing it with the level 60. Typhoon, of course. How can you not go with Typhoon? Now, Soul of the Forest has, I think, been slightly changed. When you cast Swiftman, you gain Soul of the Forest, increasing the healing of your next regrowth or rejuvenation by 200%, or increasing the healing of your next wild growth by 75%. I think they nerfed wild growth and buffed rejuve and regrowth, if I remember right. But either way, you might have some synergy with Prosperity if you wanted super serious burst healing. But other than that, I really don't see this being all that useful. I think a lot. Let's see how much its regrowth heals for. At 305k. Tuning is pretty off right now for healers, though. Every healer is pretty bad. So this could be good, but I really don't think people are going to be taking it because of that long cooldown on Swiftmend. I'll look at Tree of Life last because as a cooldown it won't let me switch talents after using it. Cultivation. When Rejuvenation heals a target below 60% health, it applies Cultivation to the target, healing them for 32,000 over 6 seconds. 32,000 when we have probably about 2 million health in Arena is very, 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 very little. But I could see this being useful against maybe like Warlocks or something that slowly kills you, or on PvE fights that have consistent damage to keep people low. And Tree of Life, I do not believe has changed at all. You just become broccoli and spam regrowth. And Rejuve is empowered and same stuff, really. Apparently that happens. I just witnessed something really strange. But I was going to start the next part, and then suddenly he just like reaches down into the flowers and starts picking them up and throwing them in the air. That was really weird. It might just be like his own specific thing. But anyway. Abundance. For each rejuvenation you have active, the cast time of Healing Touch is reduced by 10%, and the critical effect chance of regrowth is increased by 10%. I don't see that being useful in PvP, but PvE, it may have its place somewhere. Inner Peace reduces cooldown of Tranquility by 60 seconds. That's probably not going to be useful in PvP other than maybe RBGs. In PvE, it's probably going to be very useful on a lot of fights. Spring Blossoms. Each target healed with Efflorescence is healed for an additional 12,933 over 6 seconds. That isn't really very much. Yeah, healing about 4,000 every 2 seconds. So this is probably not going to be all that useful either. So this is not really that great of a talent tier for PvP. For PvE, it's probably going to be pretty good. At least these two will. Excuse me. Level 100 talents, Own of Clarity now affects the next 3 regrowths. So that could be pretty good if you have mana issues. Stone Bark reduces the cooldown of Iron Bark by 30 seconds and increases its healing from your next heal over time effects. From your heal over time effects, not just the next ones, all of them, by 20%. That's the same as a perk right now, I think. in WAD, so that you won't really be seeing any change if you take that talent. Flourish extends the duration of all of your heal over time effects on friendly targets within 60 yards for 6 seconds. 1 minute cooldown. That seems pretty useless. I see Stonebark being the go-to for PvP. A 30-second cool. Wait, what? Is it normally a 90-second cooldown? Who knows? Reduces all damage taken by 26%. Now that's a strange number. I don't get it. Why 26? Anyway, let's move on. So now for the artifact weapon tree thing. Stamina increased by 1% for every trait purchased. Damage dealt increased by 1%. Why does that help? What? Why did they give that to a Resto Druid anyway? So they changed this. This used to be really crap. It used to be like increases healing done to people within 5 yards of you when you pop this by 10%, and that was just I don't even understand why they had that in the first place. But now it releases the natural power within Gahenir to increase the frequency that all of your heal over time effects heal allies by 50% for 8 seconds. So just makes your hot stick faster. I guess you can't really tell, but yeah, it heals a lot faster. Anyway. Next one is increase the healing of rejuvenation by 15%. That's pretty baseline. Not really a fun one, but it's good. It's very good. Reduces the mana cost of wild growth by 10%. This is fully upgraded, so it's probably like 3% per time. That's not very good in PvP, unless it's maybe RBGs. Increases duration of Moonfire, Rejuvenation, and Sunfire by 3 seconds. 1 second per upgrade. That's pretty low. Increases the mana regeneration by 6%. That's not bad, I guess. Here's the special one. These are the special ones, all the ones with the elite thing over them. It's supposed to be really good. Wild Growth has a 25% chance to cause your next rejuvenation or regrowth to apply to 2 additional allies within 15 yards of the target. So if we get that at proc right now. No, but how do they get regrowth to apply? It's just the hot? Because if it's not just the hot, it's actually the cast itself, that could be pretty good. But if it's just the hot, that's pretty underwhelming. So we're going to go from here straight to that one, and then we're going to go the rest. Groove Walker increases all healing over time you do by 3%. These are really boring. Why are they just like flat increases? I don't like it. And it's only 3%. Wild Growth instantly heals for 20% of its total healing over time. Now that one's pretty cool. I like that one. It could actually make it pretty useful. If only we had glyphs still. Increases healing done by efflorescence by 15%. Now the special one, Dreamwalker. Wild Growth has a chance to momentarily shift your mind into the Emerald Dream, instantly healing all allies affected by your rejuvenation for 10,000. Yeah, that would be pretty cool if it wasn't a whole 10,000. 10,000 is a pretty low number in Legion. Well, and by the first rating tier, we should all have about 15... But not 15,000, 1,500,000? 15,000,000? Every time I hit recording button, it opens my bags. Natural Mending increases healing done by Swift Mend by 15%. Okay, it's not great since the cooldown is so long. Seed to the World Tree. Living Seed heals for an additional 30% of the initial heal which planted it. It's not bad. Increases the bloom healing from Life Bloom by 30%. It's pretty good if you let it bloom. While in travel form, cat form, moonkin form, or bear form, you heal for 1% of your maximum health every 3 seconds. That's pretty good, but it doesn't really heal that much, but it's nice. That's why you get like this rejuvenation effect every time you shift. But yeah, it's cool. I like it. I like that idea. Ironbark reduces all damage taken by the target by an additional 6%, so that's why it was 26%. But couldn't they do like 5%? I don't like it. My OCD, I can't handle 6%. Increases healing done by Healing Touch and initial healing done by Regrowth by 10%. That's pretty boring and underwhelming for something this far into the tree. Increases healing done by Tranquility by 20% and is now castable while moving. This one's probably the best one of them all. What was this one again? Yeah, I think this one's the best one of them all. So it makes Trank really good. I don't really think it'll be that usable in Arena still, but RPGs and PvP, or PvE I mean, will definitely like that a lot. So now that we've looked at all the talents and artifact traits, we're going to go over and look at, on training dummies, the affinities. And honor talents, I'll go over those in a different video, PvP-based video. So let's check these out. I've already looked at this one a little bit, but I haven't actually tried the other ones. Okay, we gain rage a lot faster than I thought. You can already use it. I want to test the overlapping, if we can get that much rage without taking too long here. We're almost there. There we go. So you get 150%, it stacks instead of becoming longer or just like not working. Frenzy regen doesn't heal more for rage, it's now just the damage taken thing. So that's pretty good. Oh, and how much damage does it do again? It actually hits pretty hard. It hits harder than elemental shamans. 230k. Yeah, it's not bad for a bear. So feral affinity is probably going to hit a lot harder. Let me get all this on my bars first. You even have rip. Swipe, what else is there? Ferocious bite. I'm very lost. There it is. Let's see how much this does. I want to get a full combo point rip up. Swipe does not hit that hard. I thought Fair would hit a lot harder, considering how hard Bear hits. It says 250 damage, or 250,000 damage, which really isn't that much for a rip. And I want to see Ferocious Bite. Does this still have benefits when you're standing behind them? Well, stealth it has benefits. It does no more damage to bleeding targets, so no, it does not. So now Ferocious Bite. This really was underwhelming, considering Bear hit for like 230k crits. Maybe balance will be a little better. Star Surge hits for 172k non-crit. That's pretty good. Yeah, this damage is a lot better than Feral. This could be potentially effective for getting kills and stuff. Oh, I do have Wrath. Just realized that. So what is the point of having Wrath and Lunar thing? You supposed to do this every time? Seems pretty weird. I'm hoping Boomkin isn't this weird. But anyways, that is the affinities. So to summarize, Druid is pretty similar to how it was before, except for it's lacking non-hot healing. It's lacking burst healing outside of talents. Because right now our only burst healing at all is a talent that is going to be effective in PvP. And we also got Innervate back, but that's kind of, you know, low priority. Actually, 10 seconds of no mana cost, it could be good, but where was I? Oh yeah, we're lacking burst healing. We still have all the mobility and stuff that we had before, so I'm not really too upset about that. And I think if they tune it right and lower the cooldown Swiftmend, I'll still be very happy with how Druid is. We'll always miss Nature Swiftness, but every class is getting some stuff removed, and unfortunately I don't think we can get them to change that at this point. And trust me, we've tried. They won't budge on it, but hopefully it works out good. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. I'm sorry I couldn't do like gameplay stuff because it is a healer. I don't really know how to do PvP or PvE gameplay as a healer. That's very fun to watch and really test things with it without letting people die. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment on what you want to see. PvP version of Resto Druid video should be out sometime soon, but I've said that before, so don't expect too much. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.